What's up? What's up? What's up? Listen, if you're watching this video, I'm telling you right now, stay to the end. If you are an independent salesperson, you have to go out there and grow your own business. You need to get more people on sales calls. You need to create more content, but you don't have time. And you are tired of trying to create these crazy viral videos. This presentation is actually for you. I'm telling you, YouTube, we're about to go crazy. I'm going to talk about the story about how I built a 6 and 7 figure business without going viral, how my client did the same thing, the pros and cons of it, the things we've learned, and that absolutely give you the software and things that you need to be able to do it as a one-man army, okay, to get started before you start to build a team of people. Now, this is an actual snapshot of up until this upcoming year, and I'm actually going to talk about in this video why it's way higher over here than it is over here, and the mistakes we made on YouTube actually not sticking to the original plan of what I'm going to talk about with you today. Now, first of all, we're going to talk about how to get more leads from YouTube, okay? Like, you need to get more leads from YouTube or all of social media using artificial intelligence. And if you're watching this video, absolutely, you need to take out a pen and pad, because if you don't, it's really just no purpose of watching this. You really need to understand this. You really need to write this stuff down, and you need to execute on it, okay? Because, you know, some of the YouTube videos trying to give you the hype, I'm really going to give it to you, even the tools we use, okay? Now, so let's look at the 3 easy steps to 10x your content. Now, people always say that video content's the number one, it's the best, it's king. But I'm going to show you how to use what you have, right, to literally save you thousands of dollars and hundreds of hours, like it says right there. You see it? You see it on the presentation? It says it. While saving you thousands of dollars and hundreds of hours. It's a real thing. I've been in this space for so long building automations. I'm going to tell you how to clear it up. Now, the first thing I'll say to you, right, is that step 1 is learning how to documentation, okay? Not content creation, okay? And here's what I mean by that. You have to document the journey. So even this video you're watching right now isn't fully done, but I'm documenting my journey on building out this absolutely simple process for someone to grow their business on the things that I've learned, did, and used, and how you can do it too, okay? So documentation. So we're documenting it right now. Now, step 2 is editing quick with value. Okay? Editing quick with value, 1 step. You got to document what's actually happening. Two, you got to get quick video editing value. Okay? And then 3, you have to distribute it. You have to distribute it into the world, into the space. Now, the reason why we're actually going to go over these 3 things, keeping it simple, I'm telling you, keeping it simple. And that if you can do these 3 things, it will save you thousands of hours, times, energy, and increase your sales and leads in your whole business. I'm telling you, okay? Now, the very first thing we're going to look at is the business circle. Now, the reason why I did this and I numbered them is because usually people think it's content, then you're getting leads, and then your leads, you're turning them into sales. But I'm actually going to create a different version of that for you to understand, to use it for content, to leads into content, into sales, okay? And we're going to talk about a couple reasons why that will actually happen. Now, how to do step 1, documentation. Okay, saving you 1,000 hours, you got to master the process. Every relationship starts with a conversation somehow, right? Every relationship, every business relationship, every sale, it all starts with a conversation. And that's important for you to understand the process, okay? Is that everything has to happen to a conversation. Now, to save you thousands of hours, the best way to do it is to document things as a business owner, especially if you're independent, especially if you're like by yourself, or you're a real estate agent, or you're a barber. You have to take these things that you're doing, okay, and you have to turn them into content, the things you already do, right? So I'm actually going to give you an example of that, okay? We're going to talk about this, okay? So you need to become a creator founder of your purpose, of your personal brand. Okay, you may not have to be a founder of your business. You may not have to be a brand new, maybe you're just a seller. Maybe you're selling insurance. Maybe you're selling something else. But what you need to understand is that you need to document these things as they're happening. Now I'm going to give some examples because I was just on a call with a real estate guy today, and the thing that I talked to him about, I was like, yo, what area are you talking about? What are you bringing people in to have a conversation about, right? Imagine all those hours as a realtor you spend talking to potential clients, right? Who's possibly thinking about a house, maybe moving to Arizona. You spend all of that time on the calls with them, and sometimes it never leads you anywhere. But imagine if every time you did that, you set it up for a video call, you recorded the process, you got to know the person, you ask questions, and then you give advice, you talk about the area, you talk about the specialty, you talk about your network, and you create expert content. Imagine if, you did 50 calls last year, right? You did 50 calls that were an hour long, where you were talking to people, trying to build rapport with them, go over it, coach them, have them ask you questions, give them a free training, and you have no representation of that, showing that you've been doing that for a year. Okay? Now imagine that. Imagine all of those videos out there. What you're doing. Just think about that. Now the reason why I'm saying implementation is gold is because implementation is everything, okay? And the biggest problem most people have when they're in business or they're in the sales and they're creating content, their biggest problem is their biggest excuse or biggest problem is that we don't have the time or I don't know how, okay? And it's because at this point we get so sucked into needing so much, needing the best and the greatest. What we need is to actually get it done, okay? So, step 2, editing quick with value. Now, I use one software to solve both of those problems. The creating of the documentation, as well as the editing for shorts and the long form content that I'm putting out while talking to this person. Now, the important thing that you're watching right now is that I'm actually on Riverside in this video that I'm teaching right now, recording it. You're going to probably see smaller little clips of me doing it. Now, so I'm actually already on Riverside right now. So let's get back into this, okay? So the importance of being able to set your position up right? So the solution is documentation over content creation. And so when it comes back to how to make a 6-figure business, you got to understand how it all wraps around to itself, okay? When you're doing outreach to someone you want to work with, usually you're trying to get them on a phone call and you're trying to sell them. But as we do know as best salespeople and best networkers is like, if you don't really know somebody, it's really hard to sell them on something. So when we do outreach to interview people, to talk to the certain person, to pick out that client, or to have people, book it or share it on social media to book a client in our space based off of what we're trying to talk to them about. And we interview them and ask them questions and get to know them. We build rapport and content. Now, in that same video, it could be an hour-long video that we're creating. We could be doing an outreach interview, then coaching them on things they did or did not know based off of the questions we're asking, then giving expert advice so that I'm going to have clips of expert content giving this advice to actually somebody who's listening, which is incredible. And then also being able to tell the story content. And the reason why I say that is because part of who you are, what you do, why you do it, where you're from, what your purpose is actually what makes you unique. And so you need to use that as an advantage point. Now, here's something that I want to be able to teach in this process. There's an amount of ways that I want to be able to teach this in position, but let's really think about this. Let's think if you have to go out into the world right now and you have to start booking calls and you're trying to get people on these conversations just to get to know people, because growing your network is number one, okay? Most people will post on Facebook or something like that and says like, so let's say this is the note investment space. Hey, I just started a note investment space. Does anybody know any realtors that, I can get a hold of me, right? That can get a hold of me or that I can get a hold of, right? That's all choppy stuff right there. Okay. And is there some, I have an amazing deal for real estate investors if you're trying to make more money, if they're trying to make money on their 401k or ROA. Is there anybody, let me know. Now, I really want you to think about this, okay? The reason why most people put it out there because they don't understand how to perceive value changes how people help you. Now, let's look at this. Now, we want to double the actual leads that get on a call with you and actually you get to know that person, see if they're a good fit, get content out of it, get to do expert advice, all these things with one person, one-on-one situations, one-on-one calls, because that's where sales are made, right? That's where relationships are built. So here we're going to look at it, and the reason why it's built like this is to give the person who's trying to share it to their friend who is an investor, okay? That it makes them look good, right? Because most people are trying to get into more content. They're trying to get their brand out there. So for this business model, what we're doing is we're starting a podcast, right? Or to interview people, and we're asking them to tell their friends about it and what their friends are going to be able to receive from it, right? And this is generic, just written off the top of the hand. And then what I did was I went into ChatGPT and I was like, I need you to be a marketing expert, getting people to share to book people on my podcast. Okay. And then I wrote down what I said, and then it gave me other versions of things I could post on social media. Yeah, of course, you could tell them to no emojis and stuff like that, but literally it's mapping out the exact things that people are going to receive from it, and I think it's perfect. And here's more versions of it, right? Where you're able to create that position where you're trying to get people who want to hop on the podcast, who want to get on there. It's absolutely free. You get to help someone. You get to talk to someone. You possibly got a customer and you got content now, okay? Now, the biggest thing that is internal that people miss out on is winning by association, okay? You might not necessarily had to have had a sell with that person, but just because you associated with that person and they got on a call with you and you got content and you talked about it, people they may know might associate you just because of that. Guilty by association is good on both sides, okay? So the second thing is you get to, win by association, but you get to create powerhouse content with experts and beginners, right? Some of them you may be listening a lot, and other ones you may be coaching more, and both of those types of content are valuable. And then you get to build a network of clients continuously, right? They're going to come into you. Now, content distribution. Now, let's go about this. Okay, first of all, I'm going to go directly into the software expert Marketly is what I use to do distribution. Let's actually look at this client right here, distribution. Let's check this out. Okay. So we're going into distribution, and the reason why we use this software is because it absolutely allows us to post across all of the platforms, all of the social medias needed in one place. Like, just check that out, in one place. And to distribute it. So what happens is, like, let's look at it like this. All right, I'm showing you guys some links and stuff like that. So let's go with this. All right, we're going to pop into Riverside. I'm on Riverside right now in a different studio. So it says we're live in this studio right now. You see how that said it was live? That was pretty sick, right? It showed it. Oh, I need to pay this thing. Sheesh. Either way, I'm still shooting videos in it right now. So let's make it happen. So let's talk about something I shot today, okay? Okay, cool. Yeah, I tried to shoot this video today, but this isn't the video. Where did I shoot it? I think the Brotherhood is where I shot today. Let's say we shot today, okay? Now, the reason why this is important because when you're on platforms like Zoom or all these other platforms, the recordings on each side do not come out well. In this video, it will record both sides of the video separately. Game changing. It actually increases the actual look and feel of the video, period, hands down, okay? And here's the powerful part about getting more leads on YouTube. If you're all the coaching calls and stuff that you have, What if you recorded that? You take keywords, summary, you get to implement that into YouTube. It talks about the chapters and what the stuff you're talking about. And most of the time, you have to continuously do this content over and over again either way. Now, let's look at this. Through this 40-minute video, it was able to create 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 videos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 videos from it. 8 shorter videos. And honestly, I could have chosen the videos to be longer, right? Because what I can do here, we're not going to get into all that, right? That is too deep, right? I have a course for that. You guys can find that in Marketing with Dom. Jump in there. I'll get deep into how to use each software and to take it to the next level. Now, this is 3 simple steps to be able to do that with 2 softwares, Expert Marketly and Riverside, to be able to create a 2-pronged system, creating content with those systems and to be able to book and do all the appointments and stuff you need in Expert Marketly. Let's look at this. We're looking at the agency template. So what it is inside of the academy, what you're going to get is a basic website to start booking and your personal brand with your customer immediately into a calendar, into booking it, into setting it up, and using Riverside to record it so that you can start getting large pieces of content. Just imagine if you only did 1-hour trainings per week with people, right? And whatever you do, a 1-hour training talking to someone every week, you'll be able to get some small shorts from that. You'll be able to get content recognized with some other person, and then you'll be able to distribute that across social media, which is one of the most important things. Your ability to get it out there on social media. That's what happened. So honestly, the biggest thing that I want to tell you about 10xing your content, right? There's other levels of things that we need to go through and other things that you can create from just creating that content to turn it into multiple pieces of content at the next level and actually growing from there, and what you can do with using AI for that. Now, the biggest thing I want to tell you is that during this process of documenting your process, that's the best way for you to do it, is to document. If you want to learn more with me about how to use this strategy, I have a free course you can find at Marketing with Dom. As well as, like I said, this is a progress in the making. You're going to see the next one that I shoot and the next one that I shoot only have better and better things. Hopefully you give me feedback, comment down below, tell me what you think. But you want to use the things you're already doing to create the content, and I can show you how to conceptually put that together in your brand or business. So that's what we're going to do. I'll talk to you later.